After that, we equally have another story, making rounds from the Punch newspaper. EFCC sacks 27 corrupt officers, probes $400,000 fraud complaint. That's actually very funny. And when we were having a conversation with some of the guests that we had today, we were looking at, the proverbial saying in Africa, when you assign a yam ban to a goat, to superintend. Imagine giving a yam ban to a goat to superintend. You just be left assured that before the wee hours of the next day, you might not see no yam in that yam ban. That is what EFCC looks like, allegedly. Allegedly. So EFCC sacks 27 corrupt officers. So does that mean in its entirety, it's only 27 persons they can find that they would sack? Remember, EFCC has had this penchant of its officers that have not really done so well. What are we talking about? We know of the cases of the EFCC boss, two EFCC, heads, that were in charge of EFCC before now were equally indicted of corruption. So if the head of EFCC in the past are all indicted of corruption, then what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? And that is the problem. So you cannot be saying you are looking out for corrupt Nigerians when the institution that's looking out for corrupt Nigerians are themselves riddled with all sorts of corruption. Well, I just hope that the man in charge, I heard he's a pastor. He's a pastor. I would love to believe. I think his name is Pastor Olukoyede, if I'm correct. I just hope that he does the needful. He should look deeper, to ensure that more officers are sacked. I just hope that he sacks more officers from the EFCC, because the EFCC is just one agency that needs complete overhaul. The EFCC needs overhaul, because we can't continue to do business this way and hope for results that are good enough. Because if we must fight corruption, then we must fight it doggedly. We must fight it with everything that we have. If not, this is but a child's play, to be honest to you. So I just hope that this issue is resolved anytime soon, and Nigeria at least can have confidence in the EFCC. Because when we talk about foreign direct investments, the president has been all about town around the globe, asking and begging for investors to come into Nigeria. But the truth remains, which investor would love to come to a Nigeria where there's a plethora of corruption here and there? You have issue with an individual and you take it to the courts. The courts are not there to even fight for you. You take it to EFCC. In fact, I learned, right, that there are issues you might even take to EFCC. If it's not worth their trouble, they might not even look into it in the first place. For example, if someone, if you get riddled in a scam of maybe 5 million naira and below, and you take it to the EFCC, first and foremost, they look at the money involved, 5 million naira, and they ask themselves, is this even worth our trouble? Why should we even be fighting? What is 5 million naira? And they ask you to go to the police, to go take care of that particular matter. So I learned, actually, allegedly. We're always asked to put allegedly in everything that we say now in Nigeria, or else you face defamation and libel. So allegedly, right? So I just hope that the 27 persons that have been sacked by the EFCC, should be shouldn't be all. They should look deeper to see more persons that would be pruned out of the agency if really we're interested in having foreign direct investments in Nigeria.